What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Real Word Podcast, a place where real thoughts, real ideas, and real words come to life. I'm your host, Drew, coming from San Diego, California. Thank you for stopping by, tuning in, checking out the channel. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit up all those links down below. And now we can get into the episode. It is October 12th, 2020. It's Monday morning. Welcome in. It's around 7:45 in the morning. A late start for me, but it's okay. I've been dealing with some personal stuff that we will kind of get into. But first, let's kind of light this incense and try and set the mood right a little bit. Set the vibe right a little bit. Get this going. And then got some things to talk about and go over. So, got that going, got that good. And yeah, man, this weekend. Hope everybody else had a good weekend, but me, man, I had a rough one. It was a rough weekend for me. Hold on. Oh, all right. It was a rough weekend for my mental health, so we will kind of go over that a little bit. Where do we start? I don't even know where this starts or where it begins, but I'll just kind of say, like, I've been feeling this sadness kind of creeping on over the last, I don't know, couple of weeks or so. Feels like I haven't really been able to put a time frame on it, but I could feel the sadness start creeping up pretty heavily Friday, and then Saturday I just knew it was like coming. It just hit me pretty crazy on Saturday. Yeah, it was really rough. Like, I don't even really know where to really start with it, but Saturday, woke up just feeling really low, really sad, just down, depressed, whatever you want to call it. I was in it, man. And there was no real like explanation of why, and just sometimes that's just how it goes, and that's just what happens for me. So there doesn't really have to be a specific thing. It's just all of a sudden it just hits me like this wave of emotions and stuff. And that's kind of what happened. And it was just interesting because I was feeling really down, feeling really sad. And my dad had gone to work for a few hours, and when he got back, he had brought home this little mouse. He had rescued this little mouse from where he was working at like one of the malls, and it was a baby, man. It was just a little tiny little baby, and the eyes weren't even open or anything. It did have a little fur on it and stuff, so it was at least probably like 5-6 days old, somewhere around there. But its eyes weren't even open yet, and it was just this little cute thing, man. It was crazy. So he had that, and that kind of made me feel a little better, like I was feeling a little better, and gave me something to kind of focus on and maybe try and take care of or whatever. And that's what I was trying to do, is trying to take care of it. And I went over to my buddy Zach's house because they had like a little nipple that maybe the little baby could take some milk from and stuff. They hooked it up with some like formula and stuff, and I guess like little baby mice can use a lot of the same stuff that cats can use. So that's kind of what they provided me with. They provided some cat food, some cat formula and stuff like that, and they really set me up, and I was really stoked to like really try and take care of this mouse. And got back home, and man, I tried feeding it. I guess I just didn't really know how. I don't know exactly what happened, but it wasn't really taking anything. I just tried letting it be. I got a little sock with some rice to warm it up and let it get some warmth and everything like that. And man, just thought we were trying to take care of it, man. And then I was looking some stuff up, and I was like, dude, this mouse needs to be fed every 2 hours, and it hadn't really been fed since we got it because it wasn't really taking anything from us. And then I looked, and dude, the mouse died. Oh, it just broke my heart, and I felt really bad, and I felt really guilty. And then that was at the end of the night, but man, I just started like crying, and I just felt really, really bad. I felt awful. I felt like we just fucked up, man. Like, completely fucked it up. And I just feel so just guilty. Like, that's the only thing I can really say is like, I feel really bad about it because it's like, did we like cut its life short? It's like, I know when my dad rescued it, he was looking for a mom, looking for other little baby mice or whatever to see, but there was nothing around, so he decided to rescue it. But now I feel like, man, maybe that was the wrong choice and we kind of cut its life short. And I feel really bad. I know our intentions were to just give it a good life, man. That's all we wanted to do. We were trying to take care of it, and we didn't. We didn't take care of it. And I feel really, really bad about it. And it really kind of messed with me the rest of the night. I just went into bed, and yeah, I just started crying, man. I know it wasn't just that. Like, it was, the wave of the depression kind of coming on, but that just kind of set me over the edge, I was just like, fuck. It broke my heart, man. Like, it really did. Like, we were talking about keeping this thing, and like, yeah. So that was just really, really tough, man. It just killed me. It really did. And like I said, this thing was so cute, man. It was like probably like only like this big. It was just like so tiny, man. Like I said, probably only like 5, 6 days old, if that. The eyes weren't even open. It's a cute little thing, man. And we just, I feel awful about it. I really do. Not a fun feeling. So that kind of carried into yesterday, into Sunday. I just was not having a good day. Woke up still feeling really down, sad, and all of that. And didn't know what to do, but kind of had plans to go over to my mom's for lunch. So did that. Went over there probably around 11:30, 12, somewhere around there. And my mom could tell I wasn't having a good day, but I needed to get out because it's like I wanted to see family. Like, my brother was maybe gonna come over and join us. So I needed to get out of my space to try and change my vibe, my attitude on things. I don't know, just to get out of the house, just get out of the situation I was in. So that's what I was trying to do, and just went over to my mom's, and she could tell I just was not having a good day. I explained everything that kind of happened and how I wasn't doing so good and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know exactly what happened, but she asked a question and I answered it, and she just didn't really like how I answered it or something. And then it just kind of escalated really quick. Next thing you know, she's kicking me out. And it's like, she's done that so many times throughout my life. It's like, if she starts not getting her way, or I start challenging her, it's just like, oh, get out of my house, get out. And that's happened since I've been like 15 years old. And that's kind of why I went living with my dad at like 15 years old, is because she did that. Oh, just get out of my house. Get out now. Get out. Go. Leave. Get out. And I thought there was this understanding of like, that causes me like really bad. That causes harm in my like mind, man. Like, that's that, and that's that abandonment issues. That's that like not feeling loved, wanted, cared for, or anything. And it's like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter if I have a bad attitude or whatever, in my opinion, because it's like, I need my family. Like, I didn't do anything wrong in my eyes. All I did was answer the question, and she didn't like how I answered it, and then it just escalated so quick, and then she just kicked me out. So I left, and no lunch, and didn't get to see my brother. Nothing, none of that. So then yesterday was just a complete wreck. Um, I got home probably around 1:15, somewhere around there, and I just went straight to my room and just passed out, man. I just went to bed and just like passed out for a good few hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. Just took this nap, and just was not feeling it. Was not feeling good at all, and just this heaviness and just this deep sadness, and I just could not shake it. And then, I was supposed to do my run. I was supposed to stick to my schedule and stay disciplined and all that, but that didn't happen. So now I feel really guilty, and I'm going to just beat myself up because of that. And I don't know if I don't know if I'll be able to get back on that discipline or on that schedule. So it's like, once I like lose it, then it's just kind of done. So I don't know. It just sucks, and no one was holding me accountable. Like, nobody really gave a fuck about what I was doing or anything. So nobody's doing it with me or anything like that. So it's hard to really hold myself accountable when nobody else is really there with me. And yeah, it just it just sucks. It's this spiral, this circle of like, I just can't get out of it, and I'm really down. And I slept a lot yesterday. Like, that's all I did, and I feel much more refreshed today, but there's still this heaviness weighing on me. And yeah, I just don't really want to do anything, and just life, man. It's like, I'm not making money, and I feel guilty. I feel just like worthless. Like, there's just so much going on that it's like, I don't really know how to change it. I don't know what to do, because I can't go work for a regular job, man. I just can't. Like, the thought of that is just kind of paralyzing and crippling, and like, just makes me feel sick, and like, that's not it for me. Like, I tried that. I was in the workforce for basically 10 years, and only 3 different jobs. Like, I wasn't one bouncing around job to job. Like, I had a job, and I advanced to like the highest position, and it wasn't going anywhere else. So I decided to make a change. And then I got pretty high in that next position. I was like a shift lead and all of that. That was cool. But then I started making lifestyle changes, and I became vegan and things like that. And I could not be around them grinding meat and, tenderizing chicken and cooking burgers and all. Like, I couldn't be around it anymore. I had to go away. So then I made the change to, the window cleaning, which my dad has been doing for a while as well. And my brother had recently went to do the same thing when I had joined on. And, that was cool. But then, a year and a half, 2 years, and then I just start getting that antsy feeling. I always felt like my boss at the window cleaning job was out to get me. And that's like in my head. I don't know if it really was that, or if they were kind of plotting against me, or what. I don't know. It felt like it. But again, with my mental health stuff that I have, like, there's that paranoia of, people thinking that people are out to get you, or against you, or whatever. Hold on a second. So I had to go. I wasn't getting any raises at that place or anything. I was just kind of stagnant, barely working 20 hours, but working 5 to 6 days. Like, it was a joke, man. It was ridiculous. So I had to get out of there. Went to this other window cleaning place. That's so 4 jobs, I guess. But that was only for couple of months, a handful of months, and I did not like that window cleaning job at all. But the money was good, the hours were good, and all of that. But then, the last day I worked was the last day of last year. So then he kept stringing me along and never updated me on when we were going to be working again. But the other guy he had hired was working and stuff. So it was just a joke, man. I was over it. And, that's when the unemployment hit and all of that. And then a couple months later, then COVID hit, and then everybody was in the unemployment. But yeah, it's just been a mess, and now I just don't see myself going back to a regular job. Like, I don't care what it is, even if it's at a dispensary or what. It's like, I just do not see myself working for somebody else. But I don't know how to make income right now, man. I don't know how. Like, this is what I want to do, but I don't know how to make money off of it. I'm being consistent. I'm working for free. I'm doing all this, just trying to create content and express myself and do my thing and all of that, but nothing is coming from it, and I don't really understand. It's like, I've listened to all these positive people before, and oh, you gotta work for free. Oh, if you're gonna do something, you gotta do it for free if you love it, blah blah blah. I've been doing that, and there's been like no results or anything like that. So I'm not giving up. This is what I want to do, but something's got to give, man. Something's got to change. And I don't know what. I don't know how. It's driving me crazy though, man. Cause then I just feel like really bad. And it's like I talk so much about like, being against socialism and all of that, but it's like I'm using the system right now, and I don't know, but the thing is I put in like 10 plus years of work to get this unemployment and stuff like that, so it's confusing. Like that should have been my money regardless, like they took it from me in taxes and all that anyway, so that should be my money anyway, so I don't necessarily feel too bad about it, but I do at the same time, it's a little tricky, it's confusing, but they didn't take my money in the first place. Then I couldn't say anything, if that just wasn't the case, then I couldn't say anything, but I don't know. It's driving me crazy, man. I don't know what to do. I really don't. And it's making me sad. Like I said, it's making me feel worthless, useless. Like I don't really know what to do. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like I'm a problem for everybody, man, and I hate it. I hate that I'm like this, man. I really do. It drives me crazy. It really does. It makes me sad. So yeah, that was kind of the weekend. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with the workout stuff and all of that. Like, I have to help, one of my dad's friends out this morning at like 10:30. I don't know how long that's gonna take or whatever. But maybe I can run the 4 miles today plus the full body workout, and then do the 4 miles again tomorrow to get back on track. I don't know. We'll see. That just seems like a lot, but I kind of got to get it done. I don't know, though. It's hard when there's nobody to hold you accountable, man. It really is. Like, relying on myself is, it's never really worked out in the past, so I don't know. It's all crazy right now. Just says depression, man. It's real. It really is. And yesterday was like Mental Health Awareness Day or something like that. So I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know why on those days, like Suicide Awareness Day and now Mental Health Awareness Day, I just get these heavy feelings, man. Maybe I'm just an empath and I could feel it. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but like I said, then today I woke up. Maybe it's because I got so much sleep, so much rest, that I feel like a lot lighter. today. But so I don't know if it equates to that or not, but I still feel this heaviness, but it's a lot lighter today. I woke up and I felt refreshed. I felt decent. I felt pretty decent. So we'll see where it goes. Like I said, I have that thing to do for my dad's friend. Don't know how long it's gonna take, but that'll probably give me like 20, 40, $50, something like that. So that'll be cool. That'll help out a little bit. Yeah, we shall see. It's just a bummer, man. Like me and my mom just got into it, and that's been our entire life, man. It's always been like that, and I just thought there was gonna be some sort of understanding now, just because of me being in therapy, me trying to figure out what's going on, or actually pinpointing what's been going on, like as far as the borderline and all of that, and the symptoms and causes and all of that. And she still did the same exact thing as she's always done, is just kick me out when it just doesn't go her way. And it's like, I needed to be around family yesterday. Like I needed to be there, and she just didn't care. And just and I understand, like, if she's feeling anxious or feeling a certain way as well, that's her house, and I get it, like I do. But it hurt me. It hurt me pretty bad. So I don't know. It's tough. 'Cause things just don't change. It's like I tried, like I've been trying so hard, man. I've been trying so hard to get better. Working on myself, working on things, just trying not to take things so personal. But I don't know, when this heaviness comes on, it's hard to shake, and it's hard to really think about anything else. It's like I post on like social media. It's like I wish I had the courage to kill myself. It's like I'm not gonna do it. I won't. Like, so please don't worry about that. Like, I know I will not do it. Like 100% I won't do it. But that's how deep that sadness goes, man. It's like I just want it to end, man. I do not want to cause I don't want to feel pain, and I don't want to cause fucking pain for anybody else. And like I hate making my mom feel the way that I made her feel yesterday. Like I hate doing that. I hate when I argue with my brother and like we get into it. It makes me feel so alone and like isolated, and I just feel like I have nobody. Like me and my dad, we live together, but we don't even talk, man. Like, so I don't have a good connection or relationship with like really anybody in my family. Like I'm definitely, I would say, like the black sheep of the family, where it's like I think so differently. These conspiracy theories and this mental health and just the way I am, the way I operate is just so different than like really anybody in my family. I guess my dad would kind of be the most similar. Like I know he struggles with some stuff too. Um a lot of the same stuff that I deal with, but like I said, we don't really talk about it or anything like that. It's just we don't have that comfortable relationship like that. So it's just I just hate putting my family through what I put them through. But I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to make these changes. Like this month I'm sober. I'm like not I was doing the workout thing and trying to stick to a routine, stay disciplined, and just do these positive things. I'm taking a multivitamin now. I'm vitamin D. Like I'm really trying to take care of myself and, really make these changes, but then I just slip up, and it's like I'll take one or two steps forward and then like 5 steps back, man. And it's like it sucks. Really does. It's like I woke up this morning and I didn't even want to do this. And I was like, what am I even going to talk about? But I knew I had a lot to talk about as far as this kind of stuff. So it is what it is. Just gotta, I don't know. I gotta make some money. I just don't know how. And, it's frustrating. It is frustrating because I don't want to just fucking be living off of my parents or whatever, and like that's not okay to me. But what's also not okay is working a regular job. So I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what to do. But that is what's going on with me and my mental health. Um yeah. So that's basically everything as far as that stuff goes. And then I kind of wanted to get into some NBA stuff. You know, I guess the Lakers ended up winning the championship last night. And I felt like that was pretty predictable. You know, they won it for Kobe, and it's like, okay, of course that was gonna happen. Um, but I don't really care about that. Like, I didn't watch any part of it or anything. Like, I haven't really been a fan of basketball for a while. Like, I love playing. I haven't played in a while, but that's what I love playing basketball. I don't care about watching it at all. I never really have. Even when I was like really into it, I've never really been a fan of watching basketball on TV. It's just I'd rather play. Um, but I haven't played in a while. But I do know that, you know, sports all across the board have been kind of down in viewership just due to everything kind of going on, which is strange because like you would think more people would be at home and would be watching, but viewership has been down across all sports for maybe except the UFC. I'd have to look that up, but you know, as far as like NBA, NFL, NHL, and those sports, it seems like everything's just been kind of down in viewership. And yeah, I wanted to just go over this. Like Mark Cuban and Senator Ted Cruz kind of were engaging in a Twitter back and forth over the drop in NBA ratings. So let's just read it, I guess. Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban and Senator Ted Cruz engaged in a heated debate over Twitter on Tuesday as the latest numbers showed another dip in ratings for Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Friday's Game 2 of the series between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Miami Heat was watched by 6.07 million viewers, a drop from last year's Game 2 Finals from this year's Game 1, 7.41 million. Game 3 ratings fell again to 5.94 million viewers, marking the least watched NBA Finals game on record, according to Sports Media Watch. While a number of reasons could have played into the dip, including the unusual timing of the season caused by the pandemic, Cruz took to social media to suggest that player protests were the cause. Quote, not surprising. Personally speaking, this is the first time in years that I haven't watched a single game in the NBA Finals, he said, using the hashtag go woke, go broke. The tweet caught the attention. Oh, come on. The tweet caught the attention of Mark Cuban, who took offense to the senator's stance. Quote, a U.S. senator with 3 NBA teams in his state, employing thousands of people, and he is rooting for their businesses to do poorly, he wrote. Quote, this is who you are at Ted Cruz. Every minute of your life, this is exactly who you are. Cruz fired back, saying that he has been a lifelong Houston Rockets fan and has always supported his state's teams, but decided against it after claiming the NBA, quote, is engaged in a concerted effort to, 1, insult their fans, and 2, turn every game into a left-wing political lecture. That's dumb. And then Mark Cuban responded, quote, you're full of shit. You haven't watched a game of the finals. How would you know what is being said or done? Since when is a desire to end racism and insult to anyone or Since when is a desire to end racism and insult to anyone or political? And you don't think using hashtag get woke go broke is a partisan insult? Again, this is who you are. And then Cruz replied, I wish Mark Cuban loved his fans as much as he loves Chinese money. Exactly. Quote, shame on me for putting American civil rights and justice, creating jobs, growing our economy, and healthcare reform over Twitter proclamations, Cuban said. So let me just kind of touch on that for a minute. I have no problem with, people speaking out and all of that. I don't like how these sports have kind of turned into this political left-leaning kind of outlet for people, but it's like, they have that right, but it's just frustrating because it's like they're speaking on, cool, speak out on our country, what's going on, what needs to change here. I'm all for that, but also criticize the country where you're making the money from, like Senator Ted Cruz said, that Chinese money, man. Like, why aren't you calling out their humanitarian rights and how they're being like that whole situation in China is terrible, man. And they're basically using slave labor, and that's where the NBA gets a lot of their stuff from. And like, these players are gonna have the nerve to like criticize us here in America, but then not go after the country where they're kind of getting all of their money from, like a good portion of their money. It's crazy, man. That's what pisses me off. Is like these athletes, and Mark Cuban is criticizing the stuff here, which is fine. Go for it. But criticize the root of where you're getting the money from too, Like, come on. That's the issue that I kind of have. So, I don't know. Let's keep going. Friday's game was marked by President Trump's admittance to Walter Reed Medical Center I don't care. Some have consistently pointed to the NBA embracing social justice issue right off the bat of its restarted season in the bubble. The NBA allowed players to wear social justice messages on the back of their jersey and painted Black Lives Matter on the court for each game that was played at Disney World in Orlando, Florida, while staying silent on major issues in the world, including atrocities in China. Exactly. Thank you. See, like, that's just the annoying shit, is like the players, like, I thought they had to be all uniformed and stuff, and now they're allowed to like wear Black Lives Matter or just all this stuff, and it's like, that's gonna cause more harm than good. It really is. It's going to cause more of a division in the country, and if that's what you want, then you got it. Because that's for sure what's happening. It's pretty crazy. But then let's read this article. It says why the narrative about declining NBA ratings is wrong. The NBA has been singled out for its ratings decline by critics and certain sects of the media, even though it isn't the only league suffering a viewership decline. Quote, I think the kneeling has been horrible for basketball, President Donald Trump said on Fox Sports Radio in August. Quote, look at the basketball ratings. They are down to a very low number. They have enough politics with guys like me. They don't need more as they are going up for the shot. There was a nastiness about the NBA and the way it was done, too. The NBA is in trouble, big trouble, bigger trouble than they understand. I believe that. Yes, the NBA finals are down 48% from last year, but there are a number of contributing factors. The ratings purge isn't an isolated affair. A number of observers have suggested that players speaking out on racial inequality during news conferences and kneeling for the national anthem and social justice messages on the back of the jerseys during the NBA restart have negatively affected the league's brand and ratings. I would say that that's true because I don't like it. I don't watch football, and I used to love football. Like I said, basketball was one of those things that I didn't ever really watch too much on TV, but I would throw it on every once in a while, but This year, nah, not a chance. NFL, nah, not a chance. The Padres I was watching, and even those I was not too happy with, but that's the team I love right there. So I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. But yeah, as far as the other sports, I ain't watching none of them. I didn't watch any hockey. I didn't watch anything. Just baseball. Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James has even been blamed for the drop in viewership because of his willingness to speak freely. Dude is just dumb though. Like, he comes in with a Malcolm X book. Dude, okay. He came in with a Malcolm X book and said, this is my first, I just started it. This is my first time reading it through. And then when asked what's his favorite part, he danced around the whole question, didn't even answer, and just made himself look so stupid, dude. And it's like, if you really liked Malcolm X, then you'd realize that he said these white liberals are the devil and they're using you, and that is 100% true, man. Like, look at it. And I'm not saying conservatives are any better, but if you listen to his quote, he said at least the conservatives are upfront and straightforward with what they want, and they're using you and stuff. And like, but with the liberals, it's like they have this like hidden agenda that they're gonna use you and kind of manipulate you, and that's been done so often. And LeBron James is just this fake woke athlete, man, who's always reading but always on like the first few pages of a book and never really finishes it, can't give a form of thought about the book or anything like that. So it's all bullshit, man. Can't stand that guy. I really can't. Never have been able to. I don't care how good he is or whatever. I've never been a fan of his. Not one bit. Can't stand him. Really can't. Fake as fuck, in my opinion. I don't know him personally, obviously, but from everything I've seen from the media and stuff, that dude is just fake. Can't stand him. But the MLB playoffs down 39%, the NFL down 14%, the NHL playoffs down 25%, and the Stanley Cup final down 61% are all experienced rating drops. These dips are seemingly overlooked because it doesn't fit the narrative that a league predominantly composed of black men raising concerns over the justice system and condemning systemic racism and is bad for business. See, I would have to disagree with that because I feel like a lot of these, like all of these, have had some sort of social justice issues going on with it. And, that's a reason why I wasn't a fan of like really any of these sports this season. 100%. I'm not going to lie. Like, that shit bothers me. So I'm not down with it. According to Nielsen Media Research, the racial composition of the NBA's audience for this year's playoffs is the same as last year. The audience for the 2020 NBA Finals through the first 4 games is 45% white and 55% non-white. It was 46% white and 54% non-white in 2019. This suggests that people claiming to be turning off the television because of the social justice messaging aren't the ones tuning in regularly in the first place. So why is the NBA being targeted by political talking heads who are attempting to make the connection between social justice efforts and TV ratings decline? It's likely just that, politics, with race being an unfortunate touchstone in the discussion. There are, however, numerous contributing factors as to why all major sports leagues are seeing a ratings drops. Maybe it's because of the social justice issues. In unprecedented circumstances caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, the NFL, NBA, MLB, and NHL were all playing at the same time, giving fans a multitude of options. The NBA's restart was played in the summer, which doesn't allow for a true rating comparison of prior years because of the league typically concludes in June. And it's an intense election year in which the president was hospitalized with the coronavirus, which dominated the news cycle. Game 3 of the NBA Finals was the first time a finals game had ever competed with the NFL, yet still the NBA is faring well compared to other sports leagues. The average NBA seeding game on ESPN drew an audience of 1.2 million viewers. That was larger than the 2020 MLB regular season game on the same network, 749,000. The average NBA playoff game on ESPN or TNT, 2.1 million viewers, drew an audience more than 3 times the size of the NHL playoff audience on NBC Sports, 651,000 viewers. Yeah, so I don't know. Game 5 of the NBA Finals is okay, that happened. Despite the selective rhetoric denouncing the NBA for not muzzling its players, the association's central figures believe supporting open social discussions without penalty on issues affecting people and communities was the right call. Quote, there are a lot of fans, especially given all that's going on in the world right now, who look to sports as a respite, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said in his NBA Finals address last week. My response is that, again, I'm listening and I understand that point of view too, but these are unique times, and I think that given the circumstances, I still firmly believe it was the right thing to do. Cool. That's cool for you, man. But we'll see what happens next season, I guess, right? I would be surprised if it went up high again, if the ratings went up high. I think they're trying to use this pandemic as an excuse. I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong, and I'll admit if I'm wrong when next season happens and the ratings go up or whatever. But I feel like, see, they're saying like all the sports were competing with each other, and yet viewership was still down. Maybe it's because of the social justice issues, in all sports. Because I've tuned into like a little bit here and there of everything, and I've seen the social justice issues in every sport, even in hockey. So it's like, what are they talking about? It has nothing to do with just basketball. It's the sports in general of them trying to get this political message out. Like, nobody really wants the politics, the political leaning in their sports. Like, get away. That's not what sports are for. Sports are for, like, that respite, like I said, the entertainment, like, escaping the whole political climate of things is for just getting away from all of that, But now they're trying to inundate it in everything we do, and I think people are turned off by it, man. I know I am. And it's a little frustrating. But what can you do except not tune in, I guess, We'll see. We'll see now what happens with the NFL, right? Because NHL's done, NBA's done, MLB is still going in their playoffs. So we'll see what happens with MLB and now the NHL. We'll see if the ratings get a boost or if they stay pretty low. I know I'm not really watching MLB playoffs this time. I was happy with the Padres, but again, that's my team. Like, I don't really care about the other teams like that. All I want the Dodgers to lose. That's what I want. But if they win, I don't really care. Like, okay, here's my prediction. Dodgers win it for Kobe. So LA has 2 championships this year. Mark my words. But then will Machado give up his contract to that guy that he made a bet with? I doubt it. Yeah, man. That's my prediction, though. I really don't want the Dodgers to win. I can't stand them. But I just feel like that's kind of the narrative that's going to be. And I do feel like a lot of sports are rigged, man. Like, I feel like, anything can happen in sports. Like, a player can just get on fire or whatever, and, they can't really account for that. Like, refs and stuff. But, or umpires or whatever. But I think they really try and control a narrative and try and help out a certain team or whatever. And, everybody was saying, oh, the Lakers are going to win it for Kobe. And look at what happened, Seems a little too fitting, It just seems like bullshit to me. So that's just my opinion, though. But we'll see what happens with the ratings coming up once next year happens. And like I said, we'll see what happens with the ratings in the MLB and the NFL now that there aren't any other sports competing with it, because this is kind of, now we're back on regular schedule, I think, right? We should be back on regular. NFL's back and MLB will be finishing up by the end of the month. So we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. I had one more thing to go over. Today is actually Columbus Day, or Indigenous Peoples Day. So we'll kind of talk a little bit about that, a little history of that, just real quick. Let's read this article. Columbus Day is also called Indigenous Peoples Day in the United States. Holiday originally October 12th, since 1971, the second Monday in October, to commemorate the landing of Christopher Columbus on October 12, 1492 in the New World. Columbus Day is celebrated on Monday, October 12, 2020. So we are here. Although his exploration were financed by King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain, Columbus was a native of Genoa, Italy, and over the years, Italian Americans took up the cause of honoring his achievement. The 300th anniversary of his landing was celebrated in New York City in 1792 by the Society of St. Tammany, or Columbian Order, and the 400th anniversary in 1892 by presidential proclamation nationwide. During the latter half of the 19th century, the day began to celebrate in cities with large numbers of Italian Americans, and in 1937 it became a national holiday by presidential proclamation. The day came to be marked by Padres. I got Padres on the brain. The day came to be marked by parades, often including floats depicting the ships of Columbus, and by public ceremonies and festivities. By the quintessential quincentennial in 1992, the holiday was an occasion for discussing the European conquest of American Indians, and some people objected to celebrating the event and proposed alternatives, among them Indigenous People Day. Which is, yeah, I agree with that. It's like, I could understand how, you know, the natives or indigenous people would kind of be offended or not really want to celebrate Columbus Day. Like, I can understand it. So to give them kind of an alternative as well to kind of, you know, celebrate their heritage and, you know, like, still, like I understand it. I do, for sure. So, you know, Americans, like Americans who want to celebrate Columbus Day, they can, and then, you know, natives and indigenous people can celebrate it in their own way as well. I think there was a lot of, like, misinformation about Columbus. Like, I think people think he came here to conquest America and take over, but it's like he didn't even think he was in America. He thought he was in India. That's why he called them Indians. So this narrative of him wanting to just come over and conquest and, like, take over, I don't think is actually accurate. But I was trying to look up some information on that. I know I saw one of my buddies post something like a few weeks back that laid out a bunch of facts about Columbus, and I wish I would have, like, found that article or whatever he kind of posted, because I really wanted to lay all of that out, because the narrative of him being this, like, evil person just isn't true. Him bringing diseases over, you know, like, he didn't purposefully do that, you know, from my understanding, from what I read. I just think the narrative has just been kind of skewed a little bit over the time, and you know, people just want to find any way to kind of hate on us as Americans, you know. And it's like, wars and all that, like killing people, conquests, all conquering, all that is not okay. Like, it's not cool. Like, I understand, like, and we're still doing it today in the Middle East and all that. Like, it's still going on, you know. But I don't know. There was treaties done. Like, they brought over a lot of like advanced kind of technology here to kind of advance people as a society here. Helped a lot. They were killing each other a lot, you know, but then like it just gets turned to the white man coming and killing everybody. But it's like, no, these tribes were killing each other too, you know. And I can't really speak on that because I'm not native, but it's like that's what was going on, you know. But it's it's an interesting thing because it's like, yeah, there was a lot of good done, but then a lot of bad as well, and we can't just sweep over the bad because there was a lot of bad. There was a lot of killing, a lot of that going on, and I don't know. I don't know. The landing of Columbus always also came to be commemorated in Spain and Italy. In many of the Spanish-speaking countries of the Americas, the landings is observed as Dia de la Raza, Day of the Race, or Day of the People. Rather than celebrating Columbus's arrival in the New World, many observers of Dia de la Raza celebrate the indigenous people of Latin America and the culture that developed over the centuries as their heritage melded with that of the Spanish explorers who followed Columbus. In some countries, religious ceremonies are an important part of the observance. Yeah, so that's kind of all I had to really go over with that. I just think it's interesting. You know, I don't know. It's definitely something to take note of because if that didn't happen, we wouldn't be here. And I'm sure a lot of people don't want us to be here, but if we weren't here, then we wouldn't have what we have today. You know, we would not have what we have today. We wouldn't have the rise of people being able to speak out like in these NBA or, you know, social political issues. That wouldn't be a thing. So, you know, is that good? Is it bad? I don't really know. We can't go back on it now, but you know, it is what it is. But I think it's important to kind of take note of, yeah, both Columbus discovering the new world, even though it was already inhabited, you know, but also important for the natives and the indigenous people to kind of be like, you know, shine a light on them as well, you know? And I know there's been a lot of kind of negative connotation about Thanksgiving now. So that's going to be that's a tricky one. I still agree with Thanksgiving. Like, it was supposed to be the natives and the settlers coming together, having this feast and, you know, just coming together. And that's what it was, you know? From my understanding, that's what it was. And now they're trying to make it this whole race thing, and it's racist to celebrate Thanksgiving, and just, that's so dumb. So dumb. Like, oh yeah, it's so bad to give thanks. Okay. And spend time with family. Okay, that's a bad thing now, I guess. That's a racist thing. It's ridiculous. But I do think it's important to kind of highlight these things, you know, whether it's on Columbus Day or for the indigenous and native people. You know, it is important. Whatever your heritage is, you know, it is important. Those things, if you want it to be important, you know, doesn't have to be, because you don't have to identify as that. Like, you know, we are individuals as people, and we have nothing to do with what happened back then. Like, I have nothing to do with slave owners. I have nothing to do with Columbus. I have nothing to do with, like, the conquering of indigenous or natives. Like, I have nothing to do with. All I'm doing is living in today. Like, you know, that past stuff has nothing to do with me. And I should not be responsible for what happened in the past. I should not have to pay for reparations. I should not have to pay any of that shit. Like, no way. And that's probably going to get a lot of heat because it's like a lot of people think that they should. But it's like, no, dude. Like, why should we have to pay for something that happened way, way back in the past? Like, that's not okay. Like, you're going to punish us because of something that our ancestors did? Like, come on. Like how far back do we go? It's ridiculous. But that is all I have for today. Did turn out to be a decent episode, so that's good. Got through about close to an hour. Feels good. Definitely needed it. Needed to talk, get some stuff out. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Maybe just Monday, Friday from here on out. I don't know. I really don't know, man. We're gonna try and do the No World Order podcast IG live tomorrow. Don't know what the topic is gonna be, but we'll figure it out. And then yeah, that's kind of it. That is all I have going on. So maybe I'll be back Wednesday. Maybe I'll be back just Friday. We will see. I don't know. But that is all I got. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you're still listening, again, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, everybody, peace.